Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Libra, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. So Libra, I did a mini meditation before I turned on the camera, and I wanted to share that with you. I wrote everything down. If any of these show up in the reading, that would be great, but they don't necessarily have to. But if they show up along your journey in some significant and strange way, please do drop that in the comments because I would love to hear about it. First thing I saw was a tomato. Then I saw a trumpet or brass instruments, a nest or nesting, a megaphone, which is kind of like a trumpet in terms of its shape, but something broadcasting very loudly. The color periwinkle, which is a very specific color. Keys on trees, which is actually a card. Sorry, Libra. I should have prepared for that without having to reach behind me like that. But there's a card in the deck, in this deck of Oracle Mystical Moments, that is called, I believe it's called Keys on Trees. And that expression came to me in the meditation. So now I feel as though it would only be appropriate to show it to you and have it be a part of the reading. Keys on trees kind of looks tower-like. This card also looked like film stock or film roll. You see the elephant up here in the cage and keys, like skeleton keys, hanging down. It's such a strange and beautiful image, reminiscent also of the tower. You can see the lock, which is right there, the keyhole, almost as if you turn that and this kind of collapses, almost like a, like a tunneling or periscope, and then the cage opens and free to go. Very strange image to get. Number 49 introduces to a 13, which is the death card in the major arcana of the tarot. So we shall see. I'll keep this card out for you. Keys on trees. The third eye opening, I felt some real buzzing on my forehead. So you could be feeling your third eye chakra opening, vibrating crown chakra as well. Wooden miniatures, so something that's wooden, that's miniature, a miniature dollhouse, miniature furniture, miniature eggs, something wooden that is very, very, very small. And this could lead into the next one, which is old toys from childhood. So take a screen cap if you wish. Please let me know in the comments if any of these are relevant to you. My cat Lucky is now meowing outside the door, so perhaps a bit of good luck will be heading your way. For your reading today, I am using the Human Spirit Oracle to get the overall energy, and the Pulp Tarot for your reading. So let's get the overall energy for Libra. Oh, right away. Commune with nature. Number 3, which is the Empress card in the major arcana of the tarot. This card has come out several times in my readings. It's a big deck. There are a lot of cards in here that I don't even think I've seen yet. But maybe it's difficult for you at least in the northern hemisphere. It's kind of cold in wintertime. It could be difficult for you to commune with nature in the way that you used to. just because it could be very cold where you are, so you could be hibernating inside. I did see nest and nesting, and there her hair is like a bird's nest. Nest and nesting, and look, there's that third eye. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Spirit. Nest and nesting. You can see pine cones here. You know, when I see pine cones or any kind of things like this, I'm always reminded of like stepping on them as a kid and it just hurting my feet. I don't know why I did that. You know, because they make this crunchy sound, and it's just like, as a little kid, I just wanted to like step on them and hear that sound. This could explain why I'm really into ASMR. Anyway, very clear third eye chakra energy happening, and that perhaps that third eye becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, more connected you are with nature. So if you have the opportunity to travel in the next few weeks, from whenever you watch this, to be in the woods, be in the water, be in the mountains, whatever it is, to connect more with spirit in that way. Empress card, number 3, represents Earth Mother energy, fertility, creativity, power of all 4 queens, to attract abundance. So that's a beautiful energy to get. So cards have been pre-shuffled. I'm going to get 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and advice from spirit. Okay. This is for Libra. Thank you, spirit. Okay. Lots of cards in the reverse. Oh, spoiler alert. Here's the death card. Thank you, spirit, for that confirmation. We're off to a good start. Off to a good start. Oh, one more card, please, spirit. One more. Thank you. Okay. So, in the past energy, what's going on, Libra? What happened in your past energy? 3 of Swords. One of the most difficult cards to deal with in the deck. Everybody flows through this energy at one time or another. This is the heartbreak card, the disappointment card, the you know, feeling like we're bearing it all only to be disappointed or sorrowful in some way. But it is clarified by the death card, Scorpio energy, number 13 in the major arcana, right? It's 49 and 13. 49 reduces to a 13. So this death card is kind of funny because he's wearing a tuxedo. So this card has come out for a few readings now in this series of generals. And I'm going to tell you what I told the other signs, because I don't read the cards the same way every time, but I'm still seeing it, so I have to mention it, which is I'm seeing the scene from The Shining, where Jack Nicholson, you know, he's the caretaker, the wintertime caretaker of the Overlook Hotel. He's there only with his wife and his young son, and he starts to go crazy or delusional. And so he goes to the hotel bar where there's nobody there, but then all of a sudden his mind sees the bartender. Bartender serves him a drink, and they have a crazy, wacky conversation. And for some reason, I see that scene in this card. That there could be something that you may have told yourself that was not entirely true, or that you wanted to believe, or that you felt was really in keeping with what you understood at the time. And thank you, Spirit. Now all of that is coming to a close. The death card is endings bringing new beginnings. And I'll point out that there's the sun kind of coming up over the horizon there. It's important because we're moving past it. When the card is in the upright, we're moving through this energy towards the Four of Swords, which you did get in this reading actually, so that's kind of rare, towards rest and recuperation. So whatever this heartbreak was, it's like you're learning now that it's best to move past it. I'm actually gonna ask for a clarifier. What was the disappointment? Thank you, Spirit. Something not working out in your favor, or being unable to take advantage of an opportunity that may have been presented to you at one time that you could have had regrets about. Ace of Wands. Aces bring new from Spirit. And it's not to say that aces will not come your way again. Of course they will. They'll just look a little different. But you could have been ruminating, reminiscing, and regretting. I don't usually do all of that alliteration, but that's what wanted to come out. Over a missed opportunity. That's what I see. There was a missed opportunity. Maybe for you to do something new, exciting. Take advantage of something that you just couldn't. Maybe the timing wasn't right. It sucks though, right? Because especially if we can see it. Like you don't know what you don't know if you're in a state of ignorance. So if there's an opportunity but you don't know it's there, it's like the sound in the woods. If there's nobody there to hear it, does the tree falling in the woods make a sound or whatever that is? It's kind of like, but that's, you know, pure ignorance. Like whether or not the tree makes a sound when it falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it is kind of negligible, because like you don't need to bother with it because you weren't there. But it's almost like you saw this opportunity. And I feel as though the timing was off. It was off. Maybe this is what you were stuck in a situation. And you know, when I said that, it reminded me of like film stock or like a film reel. I was a photography major when I was in college, in undergrad. I was a fine arts major. And in those days, it was just when digital cameras were coming out. So no such thing as smartphones when I was in college. And digital cameras were like $10,000, something crazy, right? Like digital cameras were just not a thing that people would use on the regular. So I took pictures the old-fashioned way with film cans and developing them in the studio, in the dark room. And there's such a beautiful alchemy. If you've ever developed pictures in a dark room, that is truly a process of magic, because it's a silver emulsion on top of paper that essentially gets burned by light that comes through a camera lens onto the surface and then has a chemical reaction in order to create an image. Photography is amazing, but that whole process is so labor intensive. And I see these keys on trees or whatever. It's like you only have one trunk in which to kind of grab your ticket out. Right, you're just now getting it. It's just like there's so much labor intensiveness I see here, and maybe you were caught up in that and you couldn't take advantage of whatever this was in the past, and it could be frustrating you. But we're moving beyond it, right? In the present energy, you got the Two of Cups in the reverse, Two of Cups in the upright. With the Four of Swords, here's that Four of Swords, the rest and recuperation card. Two of Cups in the reverse, Four of Swords in reverse, kind of tells me that at this time, present energy from whenever you're watching this, you're trying to heal from this disappointment, get some rest, get some perspective, trying to reconnect with your higher self. That's where this commune with nature card comes in. Part of that process, I mean, what is our higher self, our soul, right? And that's the idea anyway. When we commune with nature, I mean, we are part of Mother Earth. So it's like you have this, we all have this beautiful, beautiful resource, energetic resource, which is planet Earth, in which to draw from, draw energy, draw wisdom from. And there has been a disconnect between you and your higher self as of late. And Spirit is asking you to forge that connection again. Sometimes it can be really frustrating, right? Like we're trying to manifest something with the universe. We're trying to bring something into being. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because, you know, it happens to me too. There's some things that frustrate me because they haven't come to fruition yet. And yeah, I could say, oh, well, it's not in divine timing. Spirit doesn't want me to have it yet clearly. Sometimes that can like get onto the level of spiritual bypassing. Like you can just explain everything away because it's Spirit's will, it's God's will, etc., etc. But at some point we have to like take responsibility for our own part. Yeah, we can manifest, but what are we doing to work towards that manifestation? You know, that kind of thing. So maybe you've been trying to manifest something, and because it hasn't come in the way that you wanted, when you wanted, how you wanted, you could be giving your higher self the silent treatment. Like it's not fair. So this is kind of the energy that I feel. Like you're not listening to, you know, Libras are all about reason, right? Reasoning. You have to be cautious when you slip out of that state because that's your natural state. Part of your nature is understanding things from a lot of perspectives, being fair and balanced. When you are not fair and balanced, then you have a problem. And I feel like there is a lack of balance for you right now. It's not to say it'll be like that forever, but the way to kind of get through this process is to understand your part and to not place all the responsibility on Spirit, because Spirit is listening to your inner voice, and if your inner voice is crapping all over you in terms of your psyche, your ego, or your heart, and saying you're not worthy or you have lots to be scared of, and they're just going to give you more of the same, right? Oh, Ace of Cups. They want to bring in this beautiful new beginning. It's here. It's just like this. Again, this is a little bit of a, I don't want to say warning energy, but like, here's that megaphone trumpet, you know, calling out Libra, pay attention, pay attention. Don't let this one pass you by again. Whereas the Ace of Wands could have been a brand new beginning in some kind of action taking. This one is in love and friendship, family and closeness, emotions, the heart space. I'll be honest with you, Libra, I'm picking up a little bit on some pride energy. That pride is what's keeping you trapped up here. So there's two ways to look at this card too, you know, because it's like, it's kind of a regal setting, like you're on display and this grandiosity to it, but you're also kind of stuck in that place. The Spirit is kind of cautioning you to kind of get over your pride a little bit in order to see that you can accept this. It is safe for you to love. I just heard that. if this Justice card in particular has done a number on me in a couple of readings now. Scorpio comes to mind. If you have Scorpio placements, please watch that reading. This is Libra in the Major Arcana. Justice card represents Libra 100%. Number 11. And it talks about karmic balance. And what this tells me is that there is no doubt that this message is for you. And so when I'm lovingly talking to you about your pride, please listen, because I'm just channeling it from spirit. Your pride is keeping you from happiness of some kind. Not everything. And we need a little bit of pride to protect ourselves, but it's keeping you isolated from your higher self, connecting to your soul space, and something really beautiful. And this card just flipping right out of the deck is kind of like Spirit's way of showing me. It's just like, I literally just saw Cher in that scene in, what is that called? What is that movie called? Something Moon? Where she like slaps Nicolas Cage and she says, "Snap out of it." What is that movie called? That part just blanked out, but I see Cher slapping Nicolas Cage and saying, "Snap out of it." This is exactly what they're saying. My cat Lucky is now meowing at the door. I mean, I can't. It's an overwhelming message. Okay, I'll just put it to you that way. I'm not going to belabor it, but you showed up in your own reading at a very, very poignant moment in the reading. It's almost like drawing your attention. Listen, please. You know, why are you here? Right? To get some guidance from Spirit. At least I think that's why you're here. I hope you're still here. In the future energy, you got the World card in the reverse. And the King of Wands in the reverse. This is a difficult energy because you know that you have this wherewithal and desire to move forward with a lot of gusto, with a lot of initiative and a lot of emphasis and power behind you. But there's still a cycle that you need to close out, like a chapter, maybe in your thinking, needs to close out. The World card is all about endings and new beginnings with regards to phases of your life. It's like, if the tarot is all about the Fool's journey, which it is, the Fool's journey ends with the world. Like the Fool has now traveled the world in their own consciousness, and has up-leveled and has raised their vibration and has become essentially a new, better version of themselves. But when the World card is in reverse, it's like there's some stubbornness. There's that stubbornness again. Refusing to close something out, refusing to let something go that needs to be closed out, right? Because when the King of Wands is in the reverse, there's a lot of anger. I was holding the deck in my hand and this card just slid off. Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. Could be dealing with a Cancer. Queen of Cups talks about a person who is very loving, who is very compassionate. When the Queen of Cups is in the reverse, for me as a reader, this is different for other tarot readers. When I see the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it's always about self-care. So part of this reconciling, of bringing something to a close, may involve you actually taking care of yourself in a mental, emotional way, right? Taking care, maybe you just kind of, could be physical as well. You could be experiencing some health-related things. It's time to start paying attention to body, mind, and spirit. Like, truly paying attention. Thank you, Spirit. And taking care of the self, not in a thank you, Spirit, not in a selfish way, but in a way that's very highly focused on improving the self. You can't just keep, the status quo doesn't work anymore. That's what I just heard. I'm gonna get another clarifier on this Queen of Cups in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse. This card talks about victory and public recognition, right? Kind of like this. It reminds me of this energy, right? Being in the public, being in front of other people. Not, you don't necessarily be on a public stage, but being in front of others, being on display. In the upright, this is a card of victory, and you know, there's like a whole ticker tape parade, but when it's in reverse, it's kind of like saying you're not feeling very, you're not feeling like there's a lot to celebrate in the future energy. But it's because you still have something to, and you know what this is. Whatever it was, the first thing that you thought of when this card, I started talking about closing a chapter, that's exactly what it is. And don't stray from it, and don't try to rationalize it away. That's what it is. Could be a relationship, could be a way of thinking, could be a habit, an addiction. I mean, I don't see the Devil card here, but I feel it starting to creep up in the reading. What's your advice from Spirit? Seven of Pentacles. Looking at what you've invested in. That's your third ace in the reverse. Ace of Swords. Are you in this process of rejecting Spirit at this time? I mean, they're not judging you. That's not what Spirit does. You're your own harshest judge, actually. Your ego, not you, but one's ego is our biggest critic. That could be informed by external forces like our parents, our friends, our bosses, blah, blah. But Spirit doesn't judge you. Spirit's just trying to understand your free will and what direction you want to take. And right now they see you thinking about whether or not you want to continue investing into something, whether or not it's worth it. But they're trying to provide you some clarity. Ace of Swords is all about epiphany, and it's difficult for you to see at this time. Page of Swords, this is the advice from Spirit, these three cards. Page of Swords talks about, sometimes can talk about a little bit of stalking energy. Stalking in your case might be comparison, looking at what other people are doing and wondering if you have to do it the same way. Absolutely not. Page of Swords can also talk about simple curiosity in trying something new. This is the advice. Lean into the new. Lean into the curiosity. The status quo is not where it's at anymore. We have to evolve. We have to change. Right? You started off this reading with the Death card. Death and rebirth. Phoenix rising from the ashes. I'm actually going to ask for clarifier, keys on trees. How can we release ourselves from this cage, Spirit? How? Six of Swords. Talk about release. What? Six of Swords is moving from choppy waters to calm waters, quietly in the night. Quietly, I keep quietly, not a lot of fanfare. incremental. Like, I started to look at this and I heard the word incremental. One motion at a time, 1 foot at a time, 1 yard at a time. Incremental freedom, like moving on. So instead of beating yourself up because you're not where you need to be right in this moment, just take 1 step towards the place you want to be. Maybe it's just making a phone call, inquiring, just inquiring minds want to know. Where'd that come from? That's I think that's the motto from a tabloid that used to exist back in the 80s. The Inquirer, inquiring minds want to know. Man, that was just such trash. But that's what wanted to come out. Lucky is meowing again, so I'm on to something. It's a quiet moving on. So you're gonna make it out of this place and be able to roam free again. Right? But it starts with you opening up that third eye and not being intimidated. That's your reading, Libra. That kind of felt a little intense, but I have full confidence that you can handle it. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Libra.